If you've ever had trouble pulling the chair close enough to the dining room table or getting away from the table, this video will offer a lot of practical tips to help you move better. There's some factors that we need to look at to make it easier to get in and out of the chair. First of all, does your chair have armrests or not? How does that affect your ability to get out? If it does have armrests, are they interfering with your ability to get closer to the table? How easy is it for you to slide your chair in and out? What can you do to make it easier? And then how does friction on the seat affect your ability to swing in and out? The second main category that we need to consider is you in terms of using proper body mechanics. Are you a freezer? Do you need help? How strong are you? So these are all things we're going to take a brief look at. Typically, when we go to sit in a chair, we're usually looking for a chair with armrests because it's easier to get in and out of the chair. But when it comes to dining, it tends to be a little bit more advantageous to have a chair without armrests. However, everybody has their unique situation, so that's something that you need to evaluate on your own. But take a look at this video just that demonstrates the benefits of one versus the other. When using armrests, they're nice because you can pull on the chair. That makes it easier. But the downside of using armrests, to get closer to the table, you have to scoot the chair forward. And then when you get out, you have to move the chair in order to allow you to get out from sitting at the table. So that's the downside of having armrests. Coming over here, I can just sit down. There's no armrests. I can swing my legs in. And the best part about this is that I don't have to move the chair at all. I should say the table that I'm using in this video is a drop leaf table. So that extends the tabletop further from the legs and gives me a lot more leg room to maneuver my feet. This is a picture of a drop leaf table, and the benefit is when you bring it up, you have more leg room. But the negative part of it is how sturdy is it if you need to use it for support when you get up. And that's where a physical therapist can help guide you in terms of different options based on your abilities so that you can safely get up with least difficulty. Are your armrests preventing you from sitting closer to the table? Here's an example. When using an armchair, you want to consider the height of the arms. Now with this chair, the height of the arms get caught on the table, and you see that the chair is quite a distance from a table. Now we're going to take a look at another chair that has lower arms, and you'll see that it clears the table much better, and then it gets a lot closer so that you can sit closer to the table. If you're helping somebody who uses a transport chair, what can be helpful in getting them closer to the table is either having desk arms or removable armrests. Desk arms are configured so that they have a shorter top part and then it drops off so that it allows you to get closer to the table. The next thing to consider is how can you get your chair to slide more easily on the floor. So if you have wooden floors, typically you go for felt kind of a surface. So there's a little piece of felt that you can put on the bottom of your leg, and then it just peels off and it sticks to the bottom of the foot. Or if it's a wooden leg, there's a little nail attached to the bottom of the felt, and then you hammer that up into the leg. So there's all sorts of things out there that you can do to add felt to the bottom of your legs if you have a wooden kind of floor. Now, if you have carpeting, there's a couple of things. I have these huge furniture glides that I used on the bottom of a chair. I tried it. You can see all these scratches and grooves. I used it for moving furniture on some concrete. So it worked well on concrete, but because it's all scratched up, I tried it under a chair on carpeting, and it didn't work real well because of all these scratches. So if you're going to use a furniture glide, make sure it's nice and smooth, it's not scratched up. So this is a pretty long one. I typically don't use ones this long. It's more the size that you would use, more the diameter, a little bit larger than the diameter of the leg that you're using. The size of your glide may depend on how plush your carpet is, so how much your chair is going to sink into the carpet. So you want to use a little bit of a larger glide on a more plush carpet so that you can slide more easily. Other options are using wheels on a chair, which can be a safety hazard, so that needs to be individually evaluated. And then lastly, you can try using a floor mat for desk chairs, which again should be evaluated for safety. Here's some examples of what it looks like without putting anything on the feet of your chair when you're on carpeting versus using glides or using wheels. So this is scooting in without the furniture glides. And then I've got to get up. Okay, sliding in and out using furniture glides. Here you can see the smaller glides work just as well as those longer glides, and I recommend using the smaller ones because it's less of a tripping hazard. And then here the wheels, they work fine, but just make sure that you're safe with them. Now, if your dining table is on carpeting, what you could also add is a carpet chair mat, which is typically used in offices with carpeting. It's a thick plastic and it has teeth that dig into the carpeting so the mat doesn't shift. It's very helpful if you really have trouble getting in and out. We tried this with my mother, and she had a lot of arthritis, and she lived alone, and she was in her 90s. This made all the difference in the world in her ability to get in and out from the table and up and down from the chair. As with anything new that you try, you should always evaluate it to see if it's safe to do so. Some of my patients have told me they like using their Rollator when they go out to eat or whenever they're eating at home because it's just easier to do so with the wheels. Just remember that you have your handbrakes in the locked position during the whole time you're at the dining room table, once you're in the position you want to be, and also when you're in the process of sitting down and the process of standing up, so the Rollator doesn't get away from you. The less friction you have between you and the chair when you're swinging your legs out, the easier it'll be. So one way of reducing friction is taking a look at the fabric that the chair is made out of and what you're actually wearing. So if you're sitting on a fabric seat and you're wearing pants made out of corduroy, you're going to have a lot more friction. But if you're wearing pants that are more nylon, like running pants, then you're going to be able to slide more easily. So simply what you're wearing can reduce the friction and make it easier to swing your legs out. Another thing you can do is adding 2 plastic bags, and I'm going to show you how. From a garbage bag, you can cut 2 pieces of plastic and you stack them on top of each other on the chair. And the reason for that is because when you're turning, the plastic moves easy on each other. So that's why you need 2 pieces. And then you sit down and then you scoot yourself around, and then you have less friction when you're scooting. If you've tried other methods of trying to swivel out easier, another option is trying a swivel cushion. And this is like essentially a human lazy Susan, and it really reduces the friction between you and the chair and makes it really easy. So let me just show you how it works. When you position the chair and you get the swivel cushion, or even if you don't, make sure that you have enough room between the leg of the table and the chair to allow your legs to swing in. So this is just not going to work. And so what you're going to do is just give yourself enough room, and then it gives you room to swivel in and swivel out easily. We're now finished talking about the chair, the features of the chair, and different pieces of equipment that you can use with the chair to help you move better. And now we're going to talk about what you can do as the individual to help you get in and out of the chair easier. And that would be starting with body mechanics, how you position your body, how you leverage your body to get in and out of the chair more easily. So we're going to start talking about how to get in and out of a booth here in the restaurant. When you go sit down in a booth, the best thing to do is to back up so that your legs are against the seat. Then you're going to reach back for whatever feels comfortable for you, and you're going to sit down. And then you're going to swing your legs in. And you can do them together or one at a time. And that's it. So if you need to scoot in the booth, you're going to make a fist, and this is going to be your pressure on the seat. So what that does, it helps you scoot, elevate your buttocks and scoot a little bit easier. But generally speaking, what you want to do is be the last one in the booth so you don't have to scoot. That would be the best thing to do. When getting out of the booth, you want to first swing your legs out. So just walk your feet out. The second thing you're going to do is scoot to the edge of the seat. And what that allows you to do is get your feet underneath you so you can get up more easily and get the weight over your feet. You want to separate your feet so you have a more stable base. Put your hands wherever you feel gives you the most support. And then you're going to lean forward. That's very important. And keep leaning forward as you stand up, because that keeps your body weight over your feet. This video, Chair Transfers Part 1, Getting Out of Chairs, is a detailed video that can help you get stronger, more flexible, and have a better understanding of the body mechanics in terms of getting out of a chair so that it's less of a challenge. Here's another method of getting closer to the table, which is especially helpful for people that freeze. But even if you're a non-freezer, I found it beneficial. People that have trouble pulling their chair underneath them or have trouble with freezing, this is another technique that you can try. So what you would do is you would sidestep so that you're up in front of the chair, but then your thighs are all the way up against the table. Then you're going to reach for the chair, and then you're going to pull the chair up against the back of your knees. And you're going to follow the chair up against the back of your knees as you go to sit down so that you end up closer to the table. Make sure when you're using this method that you position the chair at an angle to the table. And what that does is it allows you to step in front of the chair, gives you enough room, and then when you're pulling the chair in, you're mostly just pulling in one side of the chair instead of both, which makes it easier as well. The next technique I'm going to show you is similar to the one that you just saw. The difference is somebody is helping you with following you with the chair against the back of your knees instead of you doing it on your own. So this is how it looks. If you're having a lot of trouble with scooting the chair and somebody's there to help you, what you can do is stand with your thighs all the way up against the table, and the person that's helping you is going to push the chair against the back of your knees, and as you sit, they're going to keep the pressure on the back of your knees so that when you sit down, you're sitting close to the table. And I found that to be quite helpful. Regardless if you're doing these methods on your own or with the help of somebody else, it's going to take practice being able to follow the back of your knees with the chair without giving it too much pressure or having the chair lag behind. So you need to keep that continual pressure against your knees as you sit down, and that will take some practice. For some people, simply adding a pillow against the back of the chair can help you sit closer to the table. I've now gone over various methods of maneuvering the dining room chair. Now, there's some methods that might apply to some people, and then other methods might apply better to others. So pick what works best for you, but always the bottom line is you want to be safe in whatever method you decide that works best for you. Just a reminder, don't forget to exercise. It's very important not only with getting in and out of chairs, but for all of your daily activities. And as always, it's always good to see a physical therapist, especially one who specializes in Parkinson's, to help you with your needs of getting in and out from the table or anything else that you're having trouble with. And also, if you're not having trouble with things, it's good to see a physical therapist preventatively as well. If you want to see other videos like this one, visit me at my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.